I would start with a poem. People would kindly excuse me for reciting a poem in Hindi, but it is for all of us. It is known as Madhyantar. Madhyantar means interval. So most of us are at a stage which is like an interval to our professional life, because we are at a middle level or striving to go something higher than that. So I have written this poem especially for the professionals who are deeply rooted in their own profession and conscious about their development. So I wrote like this: मध्यांतर की इस बेला में मध्यांतर की इस बेला में महत्वाकांक्षाओं को विराम दो, ढीले छोड़ दो अश्व जीवन राजसूय यज्ञ के, उन्हें भी थोड़ा आराम दो, सुस्ता लेने दो कल्पनाओं को, दो आकांक्षाओं को सोचने की फुर्सत, मत करो व्यर्थ की आपाधापी, सपनों से मांग लो जरा छुट्टी की इजाजत, मत करो भय प्रतिस्पर्धा का, मत करो तुलना किसी से, नजर तो दौड़ाओ चारों ओर, तुम्हारी स्पर्धा तो है बस तुम ही से, केवल और केवल तुम ही खड़े हो अपने विरुद्ध मुकाबले में, क्यों डालना चाहते हो इतनी सारी उपलब्धियां बस अपने ही पाले में, सुस्ता लो तनिक तुम भी, जरा तो कर लो मंथन, कैसे शुरू किया था तुमने और अब कैसा हो गया है तुम्हारा जीवन, सामान्य कर लो गति जरा अपने जीवन चक्र की, जमाने भर की मत करो लेकिन थोड़ी चिंता तो करो अपनी भी, देख तो लो कि क्या था तुम्हारा आलेख और कौन सा नाटक तुमने खेला है, चिंतन करो आत्म मंथन करो, ये मध्यांतर की बेला है, चिंतन करो आत्म मंथन करो, ये मध्यांतर की बेला है. So this is a kind of interval in our life, and also credit goes to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has given sufficient time to all of us to think and to rethink about our own professional commitment and goals and how we can move forward. And today I would focus my discussion on the art of communicating, which I know you all are experts, and for you, many of you, it would be only a kind of a preliminary knowledge. Still, I would like to share some of my experience. And when I say art of communicating, people often think that what is new in it? We all communicate. What is special in it? And that is what we do. And some people also say, what is there to learn about communicating? And some people also say that, all right, communication is something, but there are more important things than that also. So when I went through the dictionary and thesaurus to know about the definition of communication, I just found out an interesting thing, that the word communication was derived out of the Greek that means communiki. Communic means to share. To share something with someone, that is the communication. And when we share something, that thing also remains with us. A part of it, or a part of it is being given to someone else. And communication is a basic fabric of your life, basic fiber of your life, like breathing. So communication is a process which is always on. It never stops. People think that communication is something which comes externally to us. That is a very, very, very wrong misnomer. And we must all understand that communication is a process which is always on. You may talk, you may not talk, you may speak, you may not speak, you may listen, you may not listen, but communication continues. Because if communication stops, that means your mind is not working. Even if you are sleeping in the night, the communication is on. It is always on. It is always constantly in process. Like I'll give you an example. When Blend Global might have sent you an invite that some Sachidanand Joshi is going to come and talk about communication, although you may not be knowing me, still a kind of a communication was started already. Many of you might have gone to Google like Saurabh has gone, or many of you might have heard something about me. Many of you might have thought that, अरे ठीक है क्या बोलेंगे, वही नया नया तो कुछ है नहीं, वही चीजें बोलेंगे. So I mean, there was a thought in your mind that we established a kind of a communication bridge between two of us, even myself also. For last say 5, 6, 7 days, when I confirmed the lecture, since then I was also thinking what kind of a forum it is, what kind of an audience it would be, what kind of people would be, how am I going to present, will they be receptive, will they be listening to me, whatever I have to believe. So that is a kind of a communication which was already started. So although I do not know, even today, although I am talking to you through this virtual medium, but I am thinking, I am thinking who is sitting, who is taking a cup of tea, who is just listening, who is not listening, who has only opened and registered his or her presence. I mean, those things are going in my mind also, and those things are going in your mind. So communication is a process which is always on, and we have to understand that if it stops, that means my mind stops working, my mind stops thinking, and that is a very, very dangerous stage. So like breathing, I don't know whether you realize the importance. Like breathing, communication is equally important for us, for the survival of an individual, for the survival of an thinking individual, let me say. So that communication has to be there. And what happens is that when we think of communication process, although we almost know, can I do the screen sharing right now?
Sure, sir.
Okay. So when we do the I don't know where is that screen sharing iPad. I don't know. I think it should come. I don't know.
Screen is there.
Yeah. Now it's. I think it is coming. I think it's coming. Desktop one. Yes.
आया फिर भाग गया.
Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I know it is a very primitive kind of thing, and you must have seen this.
It's visible.
What is the process of communication? So when we see the process of communication, there is a sender. I am putting my cursor there if it is visible. There is a sender, like I am communicating to you, so I have become the sender. There is an encoding, so my laptop does the encoding business. Then the media, whatever all rubbish I am talking is media. Then the decoding, your mobile or your phone or your laptop or iPad becomes the decoding, and the receiver. So you become the receiver. So this is the basic process of communication. There is a noise. We all know that there may be an external noise, somebody talking, somebody doing some other business in and around you, or there is a noise which is internal also, because you are thinking about me, but you may not be exactly thinking about me, but thinking about something else. So that is the noise which also affects the communication. But the most important part is this feedback. Unfortunately, when we learn about the process of communication, we only deal with the process which is in linear form, that is sender, encoding, media, decoding, and receiver. We don't bother about the feedback. The most unfortunate part in the government system is that most of the government schemes do not have a proper feedback system. So they do not understand what kind of communication has been transpired, whether their schemes have reached to the real masses or not, because they do not have the real feedback system among them. So we need to understand that the feedback is very important, and feedback is always there. You see, I'll give you a very crude example and you would understand. When you read Marshall McLuhan, he does not consider television to be a very good media because television is not responsive. You do not get an immediate feedback in television. So what happened is that when this soap opera business came up and daily soap opera was there, the soap opera people thought of some kind of a feedback mechanism so that they know how people are responding to their stories or how people are responding to their soap opera. So what they did funny things. अभी कोई शादी चल रही है, अमर को मानसी से शादी करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए. अपना फीडबैक भेजिए 5 पे एसएमएस करके. So I mean people used to send their feedback कि अमर को मानसी से शादी करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए, इनको उसकी जायदाद पे हक देना चाहिए कि नहीं देना चाहिए. And there used to be a question in the soap opera which used to create some kind of a feedback mechanism in the television platform. Similarly, you can see that even in the traditional system, अब आप लोगों में से बहुत लोगों ने, you must have listened to the प्रवचन भागवत कथा जो हमारे ऋषि संत महंत करते थे. You must have seen this. जब कथा होती है तो नॉर्मली पीपल कई बार सो जाते हैं, कई बार ऊँघने लगते हैं, कई बार लेडीज हैं कोई दूसरा काम करने लगती हैं, पुरुष हैं तो अपना बिजनेस की बातें करने लगते हैं. तो क्या करते हैं जो गुरुजी बीच बीच में कथा के बीच में क्या करते हैं, बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की. So everybody says jay. I mean, what is that? That is also a kind of a feedback mechanism which they give. So what are the basic functions of communication? We must understand, like control is the basic function, then motivation, because by communicating we try to motivate somebody. That is also an important function of communication. Then information is also an important important function of communication, and emotional expression. Like right now, I don't have a business deal with you, you don't have a business deal with me, but we are emotionally attached to each other. That is why we are trying to communicate. So those are the basic functions of communication. There are different stages of communication. Like one is one-on-one personal communication, the kind of talk which I am doing with somebody on even on phone or one-on-one dialogue. Then there is an intrapersonal communication, then extrapersonal communication, and we have a small group of communication. Like this becomes a small group of communication where although we have some method which is the last one, that is machine assisted communication, but we also have a small group of communication where we are communicating. If it becomes a Facebook live talk, then it becomes a public communication where anybody from the audience is in a position to join, or they can listen to the communication. It is the small group of communication which Banwarji has very rightly described in the opening remarks of this session. Like there would be a keynote address, then there would be a question answer session, then there would be a discussion. So we are trying every mode of communication within this group. It is I am delivering the lecture like I am becoming the source, and you are listening. And when there is a question answer session, then you are also interacting with me. But then later on, when you are discussing, you are also interacting with each other, and that becomes a very interesting part. But the biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand. That is the important problem. We only listen to reply. So I was just trying to narrate this. I know most of you know these things, but only to make a kind of a revision, I wanted to just give you that these are the processes of communication when we see each other. And am I also visible, sir? I don't know. I don't see this myself.
Yeah, it's all okay, sir.
Okay, yes, great. So this process of communication is there. But what happens is sometimes we take communication for granted, and that is the biggest problem. And there are funny instances where we think that when the communication is granted. And there was a funny incident which I read in some of the memoirs of Theodore Roosevelt, who was the president of America. I mean, he did a funny thing in an official banquet. Actually, there were guests who used to come and greet the president, and he used to just whisper in their ear, I killed my mother-in-law last night. I killed my mother-in-law last night. And because people preempted the communication, they know that he must be saying something nice. That's great. So nice of you, sir. You are really great, sir. Those kind of responses were that. But there was only one person who heard him right and who said, okay, sir, that's a great sigh of relief finally. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that we preempt because we are prepared to reply. We are prepared to answer. We are not prepared to listen. And the best part of communication process is that if you want to become a very good communicator, you should become a very good listener. Unless you become a very good listener, you become a barrier within yourself only to be the biggest obstacle for the communication process, which is a very fantastic and beautiful process. I would also like to narrate another funny story with you, and that's an interesting thing when I say that communication is a process which is always on, and you cannot stop communication. So I know everyone is adult here, so I can share this funny joke. There was a husband and wife who spent 40 good years together, and I mean they were in love with each other. So one fine morning, the husband said that now enough is enough. Now we will sleep in separate rooms. Why should we? I mean, now I have my own privacy, you have your own privacy, so we should sleep in separate rooms. So after 40 years, they sort of got separated in 2 different bedrooms. Funny thing happened when wife went off to sleep. Around 11, she came and knocked husband's door and said, "Did you say something? I heard you calling me." So husband said, no, I did not call you. I was only coughing a little bit. Nothing else. So wife again went to her bedroom and then she again slept. But after another hour, she again came and knocked husband's door and said, "Did you call me?" No, I was not calling you. I'm okay. I'm okay. So she again went back. After another hour, she again came and she again knocked. And before her husband could say anything, she said, no, I must sleep here because you are coughing constantly. You will get cold. I need to be here to just help you out and give you some kind of a support. What happens? That is an internal way of communication. That bridge is always on. And that connect is always on. I may call you, I may not call you, but the communication process is on. In some other terms, people call it telepathy also. Even in ancient terms, people used to say कि ये सन्यासी यहाँ से मन से वहाँ चले गए. Through telepathy, people go. But it's not telepathy, it's a kind of a communication bridge which is developed. Even if you must have also realized in your own life कि बहुत दिन हो गए श्रीवास्तव साहब का फोन नहीं आया, and all of a sudden within 5 minutes Srivastava Sahab rings me. What is this? This is also a kind of a communication bridge which is established between 2 individuals. So those things have to be looked into with a different perspective of communication, and we understand and we realize that this is the process which is always on, and that helps in growing a professional or growing a personal. Unfortunately, what happens is, because as we grow up in the ladder, you would kindly excuse me, I'm also part of that, but as you grow up in the ladder, you sort of forget the art of listening, because you are the boss and you do the talking maximum time. So you forget about art of listening. But let me tell you, my dear friends, only a good boss can be who is a very good listener, who is a very patient listener. I know I should not name the person, but a very, very highly placed political personality. I have seen, he was the chief minister of a state. He was such a beautiful listener that he would not even talk until unless you are completely over with your presentation or if your talk. And then he will say, "Aapka ho gaya ho to main batata hu." And that made him chief minister for almost 15 years of a state. So those beautiful things have to be understood, and they are supposed to be practiced during the process of communication. Another interesting part, I would not go into the details of the nuances of communication, because I know most of you are highly efficient professionals, so I should not go. But I would also like to share something very interesting which is related to the communication. That is Osmo View's laws of communication. And that, of course, is going to give you some kind of a food for thought. So these are Osmo View's laws of communication. Osmo View was a Finnish researcher, and he was an expert of human communication. He had given some beautiful laws. And that is an interesting part which we all must understand as the senior professionals in the industry or in the profession. The first law is, if communication can fail, it will. So you must understand that you cannot always take communication for granted. If it has to fail, and if you think it can fail, it will fail. So that is the most important thing. Never take a communication for granted. Never think that if you have communicated, it has to reach to the people, and it will reach to the people. And always presume that it has to fail, and it will fail. So Osmo View cautioned very funnily that if communication can fail, it will. And next is very interesting. If a message can be understood in different ways, it will be understood in just that way which does the most harm. So that also implies, when you sort of draw a circular, I don't think how many of you belong to some kind of a government or government organization or a government undertaking. If you sort of design a circular or an office order, you must have realized that there are people who would find not only faults but way out from skipping from that kind of an order. So if it can be understood in different ways, it will be understood in just ways it does the most harm that happens. And that is why we have to take the precaution of sending the communication very rightly, very properly, and then only it goes. Third is another interesting thing, that there is always somebody who knows better than what you want, what you meant by your message. So although the communicator is you and the creator of the communication is you, but there is always someone who thinks, and it happens that अरे ठीक है, ये सच्चिदानंद जोशी क्या बताएगा, इससे ज्यादा कम्युनिकेशन तो मुझको आता है, या ये फलाने क्या बताने वाले हैं इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी, इससे ज्यादा तो इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी मेरे को आती है, या ये फलाने क्या सिखाने वाले हैं कलनरी आर्ट के बारे में, मैं तो जानता हूँ कलनरी आर्ट क्या होता है. So इतनी ज्यादा ये प्रॉब्लम्स होती है. We know that there are people who think that they are understanding the thing better than you, even though the message belongs to you. And the last is, the more communication there is, the more difficult it is for communication to succeed. If there are mothers, they would understand much better what I want to say. Even if there are some people who belong to the academic institution, I will give you both the examples. कोई बच्चा है वो मस्ती कर रहा है, आप बोलते हैं कि बेटा मस्ती मत करो, फिर भी बेटा तो मानता नहीं है, वो तो मस्ती कर ही रहा है. ही कंटिन्यू, बेटा ये मत करो ग्लास टूट जाएगा, कांच का ग्लास है, फिर भी बेटा कंटिन्यूज फिडलिंग विद द ग्लास. फिर आप थर्ड टाइम कहते हो बेटा ग्लास टूट जाएगा मत करो, बट बेटा डज नॉट नो. फिर क्या होता है, मदर गेट्स इरिटेटेड एंड स्लैप्स द बॉय. देन बेटा अंडरस्टैंड्स कि ग्लास को फिडल नहीं करना चाहिए. जितना ज्यादा कम्युनिकेशन करेंगे, जैसे एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन में होता है, द लास्ट डेट ऑफ डिपॉजिटिंग द एग्जामिनेशन फॉर्म इज July the 15th. All right, but the students know, even the teachers know that the last date is going to be extended. Then there would be some kind of a representation, and then the principal would write, the last day of depositing the examination form is July the 15th. However, with late fee, it can be deposited up to 30th of July. पर तब भी लोगों को मालूम है कि 30th of July तक भी नहीं, फॉर्म तो और भी लिया जाएगा. फिर होता है कि the last day is 30th July, but with special permission, the form can be accepted up to 14th of August. तब भी स्टूडेंट को मालूम है कि फिर भी हो सकता है, although exam is from 20th of August, 19th तक भी फॉर्म भर सकता है with the special permission of the principal or the someone very powerful or resourceful. But if on the first day itself, students and teachers know that the last day is 15 July, that means the last day is 15 July. And after that, no form will be accepted I think that communication is more effective and that reaches to the people. But unfortunately, it does not happen, because the more you are communicating, the more it is difficult for the communication to succeed. एक और बात मैं बता देना चाहता हूं कि ये कई लोग इसको people adopt these practices in their offices and institutions. What they do is they sometimes, if you want the message to be read by everybody in the office and you issue a circular, it is normally not read in the office. People take it for granted. All right, if there is something important, my boss will tell, my colleague will tell, why should I read? But if you write on a letter, private and confidential, and ask your helping staff to just pass it on, everybody would read each and every word with comma, full stop, because they think that they have got hold of something which was private and confidential, which was not supposed to be shared to them, and they have got a copy of that, so they would read it. So these kind of funny tricks some boss adopt during the course, and they also enjoy this kind of thing. So this is the kind of communication. I think Osmo Views laws have been very helping for me to understand the communication. I don't know how far you can appreciate these laws, but they are really amazing laws of communication. I would also like to share something which is my personal experience related to communication, is that we should always keep the communication straight and simple. So I call it a principle of KISS, KISS. So I mean, don't kiss anybody, but keep your communication as KISS. Keep it simple and straight. The more you are doing jugglery, you are not writing a piece of literature in your official communication. It is a very formal thing, which the basic purpose of that is to communicate, to tell somebody what you want them to do. So it should be as simple as that and as straight as this. The more you complicate, the more you put your artistic flavor into it, the more it gets lost in the words. So we should not waste our energy in the piece of article. I had my colleague, one of the colleague who used to be a very ferocious writer, who used to write poetry and all. When I used to ask them कि जरा ये circular बना के लाइए, वो इतना ज़्यादा साहित्यिक उसमें बना के लाते थे, तो I said कि I wish I can also give a dictionary along with the circular so that people can decode or decipher your message. So we have to keep very simple and straight. Another important thing is that when we communicate, when we try to impress somebody, or when we try to sort of although it is not meant for the middle level professionals, but even you also sometimes are required to go. Even I am at this stage also, I am also expected to go and meet somebody. So it is always there said that put your best foot forward. Whatever best you have, you should demonstrate the best thing to you. And that's a funny story I would like to narrate to you. It's a very interesting story. What happened, a boss wanted to recruit someone for attending his telephone calls and doing some kind of a secretarial job. So he advertised the position, and he got so many applications. So he invited some of them for the interviews. So what happened is that when the interview started, he got a phone call. And when he got a phone call, on the other side, there was a lady with a very sweet and appealing voice. And she said, sir, I was supposed to come for the interview, but my mother is not well, and I need to take her to the hospital. So I may get a little late for the interview. That is only I wanted to say. So the boss got furious, and he said, no, the rules are rules. I am taking the interview. If you could come by the end of the day, I would definitely entertain. Otherwise, you have no chance. But as the luck would have it, throughout the day, boss interviewed so many people, so many boys and girls, but he could not forget the voice which he heard in the morning. The voice was constantly ringing in his mind, and he was sort of looking at his watch and expecting that lady to come. So finally, around 3:34, that her PA said, sir, that lady has come. Would you like to take her interview? He said, all right, send her in. So the lady came. She was not very good looking, and she was not very presentable as far as her physique is concerned. So boss was little disheartened, but as she started talking, he again sort of recollecting, and then he was so impressed with the caliber of that lady. He finally got her in, and he said, "All right, you would get the job, but tell me, how is your mother?" And then that lady said an interesting thing, "Sir, I am sorry to say, but my mother is fine, and I did not take her to the hospital." Then boss was a little upset. He said, "Then why did you tell me the lie?" She said, "No, sir, I wanted you to listen to my voice before I reach you, because I know you want a telephone attendant or an operator who could attend to your calls, and for her or him, the voice is most important thing. And I wanted you to communicate so that you first get an impression of my voice. That is my best part. Once you are okay with it, then my physical appearance or something follows." So I mean, what I'm trying to say is that I must understand what is my best quality, what are my best attributes, and I should put my best foot forward so that I go along with that, and then my second thing follows. So that is the thing which we can also follow when we are communicating. So I would just only, I don't know how much time I am left with to talk to, but another 5 minutes I will wind up. I was just trying to tell you that what are the 5 skills which we can have for a successful communication in our workplace. So one I have of course told you is the listening. So art of listening is very important. And I am very sorry to say we all have become so impatient that we have forgotten to listen to somebody else, and we only want to respond. The moment you talk, I want to respond to you. I do not want even to listen to the full questions, and then I'm eager to respond. So the art of listening is very important. Be a patient listener. And I should say that this is also some kind of a practice. Riyaz जिसे बोलते हैं ना, तो listening is also a riyaz. It does not come automatically. जो लोग शादीशुदा है, I think वो ज़्यादा practice कर सकते हैं, but sorry to say, but still I would say ऐसा नहीं. It's really a riyaz. You need to really practice how you can listen, because as boss or as the superior authority of the office, sometimes you are compelled to listen to so many rubbish things. Still you would like to have your face bright and smiling, without giving impression that you did not like that. So art of listening is very important. Number 2 skill is straight talking. Try to talk as straight as possible. That I told you also. Keep it simple and straight. The straight you talk, the more it is beneficial for you, because the more you try to mix up the things, you are going to land into greater trouble rather than the person who is at the receiving end. Because sometimes people forget. There was my father used to tell me this funny incidents, that a colleague of my father used to say give funny excuses to his office. So what happened is, when he got married, he came to my father and said, I want to go proceed on leave, but how can I go? I am going to get married. So my father said that your marriage is an important occasion in your life, so why are you worried? You should apply for your leave and saying that you are getting married. He said, I cannot say that to my boss, because last year I have sought leave for the death of my mother-in-law. So since my mother-in-law has passed 1 year back, how can I write that I'm going to go get married now? So these are the funny things. So don't lie. Be straight. Be simple. Third very important thing is that we must understand. The third important thing is non-verbal communication. And you would be surprised to know that 90% communication is non-verbal communication. Only 10% communication is verbal communication. Although I am speaking for last say 35, 40, 45 minutes, but still the non-verbal communication which is affecting our communication has a much larger quota than the words which are spoken to you. So we must understand non-verbal communication is also gestures, postures, my attributes. Even if I am not saying anything, even if I am not communicating anything through my words, and I give some expression, maybe that is also non-verbal communication, and that is very important. If there would have been an audience, if you were there in front of me, I would have understood what kind of non-verbal communication is there. Some people might be getting bored through my lectures. Some people might show some kind of an interest, and that non-verbal communication must be taken into account while communicating these things. Another is stress management. So when we are communicating, we should manage our stress situation. We should not unnecessarily show our stress, our anxiety during the course of communication. We should understand, we should learn how to hold our things, how to control the stress. And when I talk about the control, another control is important, and that is the emotional control. So we need to have some kind of an emotional control also, and we should not unnecessarily express our emotions during the course of communication. May it be the verbal communication, or may it be the written communication. And the best way is to, as many elders have said, the best way is to sleep over the thought. Actually, what happens is, when there is some situation which is irritating, we immediately try to respond to that. And when you immediately respond, sometimes your response is not very good. In fact, most of the times your response is not very good, because it has come out of some kind of an emotion, or it has come out of some kind of a stress, some kind of an anger. So that should not be there. Especially when you are doing the written communication, we should be more cautious, because as we rightly say, the words are immortal. Once you write, it is immortal. It is for the posterity. इसीलिए हिंदी में बोलते हैं अक्षर, जो क्षर नहीं होता, जो समाप्त नहीं होता. So when we are using akshar, so we must understand it is going to remain for posterity. So whenever we speak, think twice before we speak, or think twice before I write. So if we practice that, I think that those communication can be there.